Good afternoon. Today's lesson is all about, or I should say, this afternoon's lesson is all about divide or dividing a decimal by a whole number. It's really simple, much like the division we're already used to. We're just adding on one extra step. All right, so now if you notice, we have the number 8 and 76 hundredths divided by 6. 6 is our divisor, 8 and 76 hundredths is our dividend. All right, so we're going to go about this in the exact same way that we divide. The only difference is that before I begin, so I don't lose this decimal, I am going to take this decimal and go ahead and put it right up here in my quotient area. Now, remember, don't forget that this decimal does not move. Leave him right in this spot. All righty, don't go and try to slide him out the way. We don't want to do that just yet. All right, so now ask yourself the question, how many times does 6 go into 8? Yes, exactly. It goes in there once. 6 times 1 is 6. 8 minus 6 is, good, 2. Now, I'm going to bring down the very next number, which is a 7. Do not bring down the decimal. Just bring down the numbers. This decimal is stationary. He stays right there. Alrighty. Now, then I ask myself the question again. How many times does 6 go into 27? That's correct. You should have said 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract those two. 27 minus 24 gives us a gorgeous 3. Next, what's the next step? Right, bring it down. Add our 6. And then we ask the question all over again. How many times does 6 go into 36? Right, it goes in there 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. And then we have 0. So our answer equals 1 and 46 hundredths. So notice when I'm dividing a decimal by a whole number, my answer will or can possibly have a decimal. There will be some times where it won't have a decimal, but in this case, it does. All right, so let's try this one more time. So remember, step 1, read your problem. We have 4 and 375 thousandths divided by 7. We're going to go ahead and bring our decimal above into our quotient area. Make sure it's lined up with the original decimal. You don't want to put your decimal over here or over there because it'll change your answer. All right, so now we begin. 7 goes into 4 how many times? I can't go into 4, so we put a 0. Can 7 go into 43? Yes, it can. How many times? Good, 6 times. 6 times 7 is 42. 42, or I should say 43 minus 42 is 1. Now remember, this decimal is stationary, so we're not bringing him down. All right, we're just going to keep on going. We leave him right there. Bring down our 7. How many times does 7 go into 17? We know that that's 2 times. 7 and 2, or 7 times 2, is 14. 17 minus 14 is 3. All right, then last but not least, we bring down our 5. And we say, all right, how many times does 7 go into 35? Well, it goes in there 5 times. 7 times 5 is 35. 35 minus 35 is 0. Alrighty, so our answer is 625 thousandths. I can also write this as 0.625. Either answer is correct. Alrighty, either one is correct. They both say the same thing. Alright, let's try one more before I set you loose to do this on your own. Alrighty, so notice I have $59.05 divided by 5. I'm going to start off by taking my decimal, moving it into the quotient area. Alright, remember, keep it right in line. Then I begin dividing. How many times can 5 go into 5? Once. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. Now, sometimes when a person gets a 0 here, you get a little bit lost. You're not quite sure what to do. Did you make a mistake? Well, no, you didn't make a mistake. And what we do is we continue on with the pattern. We simply bring down the next one. Alrighty? And then we ask the question all over again. So how many times can 5 go into 9? Alright, it goes in there once. 1 times 5 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. Alright, remember, don't bring that decimal down. He stays where he is. He's stationary. But bring down the very next number, which is 0. How many times can 5 go into 40? It goes in there 8 times. 5 times 8 is 40. All right, look, we got another 0, but we still have a man left. So guess what? We are going to bring him down. Alrighty, that gives us a 5. How many times can 5 go into 5? Well, it goes in there once. 5 times 1 is 5, which gives us 0. Remember, until you have filled in all of these slots, do not stop. Don't just go and add zeros. You must work everything out. Alrighty, so our answer, because this is money, our answer will be written in terms of money. So we have $11.81. All right, now it is your turn to work these out. Alrighty, we have 10 and 42 hundredths divided by 3, 5, or should I say 2 and 769 thousandths divided by 5, and then we have 87 and 5/10 divided by 5. Go ahead and start working those out. Pause the video. Go ahead, and we'll see if you get them right. All right, now you should have gotten the following answers. All right, for the first one, you should have received 3 and 46 hundredths. The second one, you should have had 553 thousandths. And for the third one, you should have had 17 and 5/10. Now, this third one right here is the only one that worked out to where when you divided, you had zeros at the end. Alrighty. These other two, it seemed like you could continue on, right? Well, we'll talk about tomorrow in class what we need um, to do those, all right, to finish those up. Now, so I will see you tomorrow. Make sure that you bring your paper with these problems, these 3 problems on them worked out to class tomorrow, because I will check them, alrighty? So don't forget, bring the paper that you worked out these 3 problems on, and make sure your work is shown so I can see if you did everything right. Alrighty? See you tomorrow.